Hello, gorgeous ones. It is Susie Ashworth here, mind shift and messaging mentor. And I won't dive in. I'll see if anyone is going to pop up on this little Friday morning. I wasn't actually planning on going live, but there has been quite a lot of excitement in the Limitless Life Experience group, and there have been people posting in my peer groups about the whole big conversation that Mark Zuckerberg started last night about the newsfeed. Hey, Catherine, thanks for joining. About the newsfeed and ultimately what's going to be happening for business pages. And it's been a while since I've given a pure, full-on marketing strategic chat, but it is obviously my jam, or it is my jam as well. So I thought I would just come on and share my initial thoughts, because this is going to be evolving and changing over the next few weeks. So things haven't started yet, and it's interesting because in the baby business school I've heard it so many times, people saying, nobody's seeing my post, only 10% of people are seeing my post, only 5% of people are seeing my post, why is nobody seeing my posts? And we know that as it is already, probably only 20% of people see, hey Penelope, only 20% of people see the posts that we post on Facebook unless they get traction really early on. And what Mark Zuckerberg has very, very clearly said is that even if somebody is liking or commenting on your post, that is not an indication, it's not going to be an indication in the new algorithm of whether it should be broadcast out to more people. So it's like, oh, hey Helen, what he's saying, hey Anna, what he's saying is that he is looking for conversation, not just between you guys and me. So if we're on a live broadcast, it's not just conversation between us two or three or however many people are on. It's conversations in the comments between each other that will determine whether a post is broadcast worthy or not. And quite frankly, that is just challenging. What this statement is doing is challenging us to create even better content that is even more engaging, that really sparks conversation in between the community. So not just myself and the person who's watching. That is challenging. And if we don't do that, less of our posts will be seen. So what does this mean? People have been talking about paying to play on Facebook for a while. This isn't a new thing. From a business owner perspective, what this means is that if you want people to see your posts, you are going to have to boost them to your existing audience just to get the people who are already in your community to see them. And you'll have to pay to reach beyond your current page. So that is about the money, honey. And obviously, the more people who are doing that or who are boosting posts, the more it costs to reach less people. So that is not exactly fun. So what are our options? Oh, can I just say, my dog is outside the front of my house, so I just need to go and get her in before she goes onto the road. Bear with me, I will be back. Please, talk amongst yourselves. Thanks, that's really kind of you. Right, so what does that mean? So the first things that come to my mind are, Catherine, I have 4 cockapoos at the moment, I feel your pain. So the first thing is regular weekly live shows. I think that this is a great idea. It takes a lot of discipline, and obviously you have to be really regular, and it's not so helpful if you have little people in the house, because often they have their own ideas about things that are going on. But regular weekly shows where you're inviting people to come in and chat to you, you're letting people know what the theme of the show is beforehand, and again you are creating the opportunity for people to share and have discussions within themselves. It's a really powerful thing that you can be doing on your business news page to make sure that people are seeing and aware of what you are doing. The second thing that comes up for me is, what does this mean for groups? So there's been a big trend of very big, high-profile people closing down their groups. They've been disappointed with the level of engagement and interaction that they're able to have with their community when it grows to 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. So they've closed them down because their posts and their messages were not being seen. And it really does make me think, when we know that we are going to be getting less traffic on our business news pages, does this then reinvigorate people's feelings around having their own group? Now, for people who have tried to start their own groups or have their own groups, you will know that in those early days, it is incredibly labor intensive to get the kind of vibe and the engagement of a really vibrant community. So you have to put a lot of time and effort into it, and many people just they just can't be bothered to do that. And so it's a big commitment that you have to decide whether you want to go down that route or not. And even when you have a lot of people in a group, you still have to spend a lot of time and energy really massaging those people and massaging the environment to get people feeling warm and fuzzy. And I know this because I have a group of 3,000 people where the engagement could be a lot higher, a lot higher. But because the time and attention isn't put in there, then it's not as vibrant as it could be. So let me know if this is making sense. I'm going to be very interested to see whether people are going to be reopening their groups. And it's even making me think about whether I am going to close my free group, the Reflect and Reboot group, because obviously when you do a live on your page, you can stream that into your group, and even if people aren't finding you organically on your page, at least your community are getting to see your content. So that is interesting for me. The other thing that immediately comes up is, if we're not getting, the reason that I love my page as opposed to free groups is that I love the fact that new random people can find me. But if we know that my content is not going to be shown to those people unless I'm paying for it, where else do I need to be hanging out to get that organic through traffic? And for me and my audience, the answer is Instagram and Instagram stories. So that is a platform that I have not leveraged by any stretch of the imagination, because I just can't be bothered to make all my pictures really beautiful and create a really gorgeously curated news feed. And it now has immediately got me thinking that I need to perhaps, not for sure, but maybe perhaps I need to recommit to really cultivating and growing my IG tribe and talking to people on Instagram stories, so that they are going to be able to, so I'm going to meet new people there and build that community there. So they are the things that have immediately come up for me when it comes to this news. So I know that some of you, so Anna, Penelope, maybe Holly, you are already thinking about this, or you've seen the announcement. So what were the thoughts that came up for you? I'm interested to know what it is that you think you're going to be doing. So hit me up in the comments, please. And Catherine, I don't recognise your surname. What do you do, my lovely? Hit me up. Are you using the Facebook business news page? I wanna know. So yeah, my main thoughts are regular weekly shows, live, ideally, where you're able to tell people that you're going to be on beforehand and create a conversation even before they reach Facebook. Maybe we need to be relooking at the groups and the importance of groups and making sure that any content that we're sharing on our page is going straight in there. And thirdly, do we need to be looking at other platforms for our organic reach if we don't have the budget to pay for this stuff? Penelope, it just seems to be a huge amount of effort or money for very little return. I would say that my whole business has been built off the back of Facebook. So it has taken time. I love the community that I have built on here, but for sure the return on investment in terms of time and money that I have spent has well been worth it. So it is definitely, it encourages you to either work with someone who's a master or increase your own mastery so you can understand where to best put your time, effort and money. But the return on investment has been more than tenfold for me. Holly's just saying, I feel slightly torn. I love writing so much more than bloody videos. Yeah, the other thing is that you can still create amazing posts, but you are being encouraged to create newsworthy, so posts that are, you know, people that are talking about. It's not just a like, you're asking for the engagement. And then I suppose the other way to manage those comments is be directing people to other people's comments. So what do you think about what Thingy said? What do you think about what she said? Or what do you think about what he said? So that is definitely time and effort. And if you're only looking at a couple of hundred people on your page, is that a good use of your time and effort? Probably not. If you're looking at a larger community, or you've got one post where you're really focused on that post being your viral post, then it may be worth it. And I love writing too. I will still write. I post between, sometimes once, I post whenever I want to post, but it's between 3 and 4 times a day. And we are going to be hit hard if you're posting 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day and you're only getting 1 like or 1 comment. Facebook will penalise you. They will say that the content you're creating is no good, so we're not going to show you to anybody. So that feels a little bit like frustrating as well. Catherine, I'm an NCT antenatal teacher and a first aid instructor. I own Devon Antenatal and First Aid. Okay, amazing. Welcome to the page. Feels like a gamble and hard when you're starting out. You know what? Ultimately, whether you choose to do this on Facebook, on Pinterest, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Twitter, the reason that you're doing what you do on social media is for visibility. So if you are not getting the visibility that you require on Facebook, then look to see where else you can get that visibility organically. And from a paid perspective, Facebook works. There is not a more powerful platform out here at the moment where you can target your audience. But if you don't have the budget for that, you need to look to see. Even things like writing on a medium and then sharing on your personal page is going to get you more visibility than writing a blog and only sharing it to your business page. So there is courage it takes to share your stuff in, on other platforms and in other ways. It takes, you have to kind of dig deep. The courage adventure. You have to dig deep to give yourself permission to share in that way. But you are going to be pushed, in a space where there are more people doing what you do and Facebook are sharing less of what you do. You are going to have to step out of your comfort zone to be seen by more people by putting yourself in situations that you would not have put yourself in before. So even this was an accident, but even me posting live, doing my live webinar last week on my personal page, which officially you're not allowed to do, it was a business message, but that was a happy accident. But it meant that more people, particularly from my old life, who perhaps don't know what I do or what I talk about, got to see me, and I absolutely know will potentially invest in products later on down the line because of that webinar and being seen off of my business Facebook page. So it's not a bad thing, but it's just going to stretch you to go beyond where you are now. Catherine, I've started using Instagram recently and organic reach is surprisingly good. It's definitely a platform I think could work. For our age, where we're targeting really women between the age of 25 and 45, Insta is great. Helen, yes, I need to go back to the courage adventure. Yes, you do. Sophie, Facebook has always been incredible in providing coverage for virtually no cost. If that goes, then we will have to think of different online ways of promoting ourselves. It definitely is going to go, Sophie, unless your content encourages conversation in between the commenters, which is challenging, which is going to be challenging. So already thinking about how you can spread your message without budget, so in an organic way, away from your Facebook newsfeed is an important one. But I still think groups are amazing, and actually spending a little bit of money promoting your group can still be a really powerful thing to do. And yeah, maybe it's all about the IG. So that's it for me. I'm going to be watching people like a hawk to see what they're doing, what they're saying, and as I get new insight and information, I will be sharing that on my page still. I'm not deserting my page yet because I love it and I love you. Right, mwah. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you soon. Bye.